All right, we rolling. So what's going on, everybody, man? This is your boy MT, and we're here with the first episode of Tap In with MT and friends and family.
That's
you know
right.
What I'm saying? That's how it's supposed to be. You get the people that you trust, that you know. Well, I don't know you the most, but that's why we here. So she gonna give me a little bit more. She gonna give y'all a little bit more. We're gonna figure out what's going on. But we're here with Tap In and MT and friends just to give you a little background, to talk about what's going on, to have a conversation. As you know, that we tap in, our training and accountability partner, keep us focused on what we need to do. So we're here on finding out about the people that are focused on what they need to do, that are holding themselves accountable, that are being motivated about what they do. Get a little deeper, dive a little deeper, tap in to what's really real here on Tap In with MT and friends. So,
Tap, 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 tap in.
I do not own the rights to that song, but if you want to tap in, sweetie, pull up. We with you. We want you on here next because that's what it's about. So, ma'am.
Yes.
This is a good time. I'm excited. I was excited when I reached out to you. Yes. I was excited when you said that you had some time. And now we're here. We're having this conversation. You know, and it's like, I don't know. I'm excited about what's about to happen. Like we were talking about earlier, like being in front of the camera is not really your thing. You're a behind the camera type of person. You enjoy that creative aspect of it. But as I told you, I feel like you should be up here because you are that type of spirit, that type of soul, that type of energy, and it's needed in the world. So I gave y'all a little bit.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Gave y'all a little bit, not gonna give y'all everything, because if y'all ever watched our past podcast, the Metric Made Minute, which you need to check out, it's got some clips on YouTube, got a little bit on the website. I don't take the opportunity to tell people about what these other people do, because that's why they're here. So Shauna, please introduce yourself to our audience. Tell them who you are, the bright, bright rainbow sunshine that you are, and break it down for them a little bit.
My name is Shauna Wilcox, and I am a production designer, creative director. Work in the commercial and TV and film industry, as well as some other industries here and there, nonprofit, 501c3 management. And I really just love the creative world, everything about the creative world, in front of the camera and behind the camera.
You know, and I had to pull out a little razzle dazzle, and we're gonna figure this out today. So as you heard, you do a lot of things.
I do.
You are involved, you've been involved since I was graced with your presence, and it's inspiring. If I haven't had the opportunity to be able to tell you, even the minute piece that I know of the essence that you bring to the world is like, that's dope.
Thank you.
That's dope. And that's why every time that I find out something, or I see something, I'm like, oh, you did that, I make sure that we take the opportunity to celebrate that because it's real. Like, it's dope. But as we all know, driving our own path, building our own path, being our own person is something that takes a lot of perseverance, a lot of time, a lot of energy.
It does.
You definitely put a lot of time and energy in. So let's go back, way back.
Okay.
Back in the time.
Okay.
Before Shauna started being Shauna. And you were just Shauna Chin, you know, before the Wilcox,
Shauna
before the makeup, before all of that, back in New York.
Yes.
Give us a little bit about like what helped you become who you are.
Born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. First generation American to Caribbean parents. That really, I mean, that's a whole mouthful in itself. I mean, born and raised in New York, much less Brooklyn, New York, from Caribbean parents. That's a huge dynamic there. And I think it really molded me, gave me the type of perseverance that I needed in order to be able to seek my dreams and be able to figure out who I am and what I'm good at. But also being able to have the tenacity to see things through. Yeah, I was born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. Very, very proud of that, by the way.
There you go, BK, stand up. I need y'all to represent. This is a good episode for y'all.
And now living in Atlanta, Georgia. Complete different dynamics, still beautiful place to be in, has added to who I am and a little bit of the culture of what I bring. So yes.
There you go. There you go.
Yes.
Bring a little flavor. So first generation Caribbean Caribbean, however you decide to say it.
Yeah.
I'm all with all of it. How does that culture, that different thought process, a different mindset, like how has that been an influence on you pursuing and being able to get to the levels that you've been able to achieve?
So yeah, being a first generation American, my dad was in the music industry. And again, coming from creative worlds, and my mom was in nursing all her life, loved to cook. There was just like so many different ways that Caribbean culture, influenced me in regards to working hard, right? Like they just work hard. No matter what it is that they did, they work hard to get in. They want you to know too. They gotta tell you about yourself, okay? Okay.
There it is. Look at that twang came out. I love it. I like it.
They're gonna tell you that you have to work hard in order to get what you need in life. And again, being from New York, that just added to it. And so I know nothing but hard work. I know nothing being able to, like, I connect before I direct, right? And so I'm always able to say, whatever I ask you to do, I'm willing to do myself, right? And so that's a part of being able to be a good leader. And that is what I was taught. Like, it doesn't matter what we did. Like, my mother always got her hands dirty, and my dad got his hands dirty. Like, they always were a part of the gutter work, and not just the glory.
True.
And again, that's a part of the grind of New York. That's a part of the grind of coming from being a first generation American or coming to the States and wanting to make it, wanting to live that American dream. And then as a first generation American, wanted to make them proud, right? They came here for a purpose, wanted to do better for themselves and do better for me. And so that instilled a little bit of a drive, I can't say a little bit, a lot of drive to make sure that I made them proud.
Love it. Love it. No, that you hear so many stories and you talk to so many people, especially nowadays, because there's so much influx of culture and exposure of culture in so many different ways. And people talk some mess about the cats that's been in the States for a while, because it's like we don't have that same type of drive. But when you start having those conversations, you start looking into those motivators and those things that come around, it's kind of like, all right, I see why that perception is that way,
I can't say that I didn't hear that growing up. Okay, I can't say that. And I can't say that I'm not guilty of saying it myself.
True.
Where I'd be like, no, these American people. And I think it's a matter of like taking things for granted. That's really what it is. It's not necessarily about Americans not having culture. I mean, we already know that there's a huge culture, whether it's culture that we want or not, that's a whole different thing, right?
Indeed.
But even in the Caribbean, I mean, slavery, we're not, people don't even recognize that slavery happened in the Caribbean as well, right? And so there's shared culture there, there's shared experiences there. But yeah, I think that a lot of Americans take for granted the freedoms or the different liberties that we have. And so people in the Caribbean don't have that. And so, as I said, coming to America, wanting to live the American dream and be able to be prosperous and to make better for themselves, it was a huge thing. And so, yeah, I've heard that many times. Don't be like your American friends, okay? Okay.
Tragic. I hate it, but we working to change that. You know what I'm saying? Fourth generation from Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Straight from Decatur. We try to change that perception, but no, I get it, and I see it. Yeah. And I appreciate it, and I honor it, because I mean, at the end of the day, the blood is flowing through all of us. Right. And at the end of the day, we all have to wake up and be able to take advantage of the opportunities, and the fact that it's seen that way, it ain't nothing but a thing. That is a real thing, and it being able to contribute to how you've been successful is like dope. That's always a dope thing. Now, we're gonna dive a little bit, we're gonna go a little bit. So I heard that you used to do some makeup.
I did. That's how I started, career-wise.
Yeah.
I did makeup for years, product developing. I ran some shows in New York and things of that nature. Was a part of creative teams and developing looks and all that. But yeah, makeup was my first thing. It was my first real career.
You see, I gotta dig stuff out of my system, man. It's like, it's crazy out here. It's like I gotta find a way to be able to pull it out, cause like, you don't share none of this stuff. It's dope.
Yeah, I mean, again, from New York, so I worked on Fifth Avenue. I was blessed to be able to be connected to a lot of great people. So I didn't have to do certain things in order to be able to really get to where I wanted to go in regards to makeup, right? In regards to makeup. My mom was very closely connected to some people high up in L'Oreal who owns lots of different companies, and gave me an opportunity, and I ran with it. I ran with it. I was number one in my department and all those things or whatever. And again, I started on the floor, makeup floor, selling, and learned that teaching was the best way in order to really be successful in makeup. And then through that, I got bored. I used to get bored. I still get bored all the time. Always wanted to do something else, do more and do more. And so I added on and just continue exploring the different worlds of makeup.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that was my makeup story. I did that for years until I met your brother.
That's a whole nother story. So segue into another one, not the two-wheel joint, but the word joint. So NFL wife,
Yes.
NFL girlfriend, NFL wife, that whole aura.
I wasn't an NFL girlfriend for long.
Right, yeah.
I don't really know that story.
I don't know nothing about that. Yeah, she hopped over that fence really quick, and we understand why the more we start figuring out. But that's always a coveted thing when it comes to our society and especially this social media society, when everybody loves to see the pictures and people dressed up. They freaking out over Taylor Swift and Simone Biles being at the game. Like, oh my God, they just started coming. You know, the NFL been around for like 100 years before now, and now people figuring out about Travis Kelce. Trav, what's happening? We need you on here too. But how was that experience? Like, how was that experience? Let's start there.
So I worked NFL Live for a little while, and so in terms of being in that world, the sports world, through makeup, in terms of being in that sports world, it wasn't completely brand new to me. But of course, it's a completely different dynamic when you're dating somebody and then become someone's fiance and then married. And I had a good experience. I can't say that I had a bad experience. There are many people I know that had very bad experiences, but I had a great experience. And I think it was because your brother really took care of me and made sure that he protected me and sheltered me from some of the things that could possibly go awry. But it was a wonderful experience. I mean, the NFL world in regards to being able to expose you to things is really wonderful. And of course, you have to tap in and you have to take advantage of those opportunities.
Like that branding, yeah.
You have to take advantage of those opportunities and walk through those doors. But they definitely open the world to you. And so I had a great experience and working with them. I actually did do a lot of things while I was there. That's how I started 501c3 management. Dan had his foundation.
Shout out Empowerment Minds one time.
Yes, he had his foundation, and I moved to Baltimore. And I was always working. I told you, I'm used to the grind. And so I was like, I can't just sit here and do nothing. And so I started running the foundation. And through running the foundation, helped with other foundations as well. And that just spiraled into another thing. And I think event planning and being creative and all that was always something inside of me. I mean, again, being from the Caribbean, my family, it doesn't matter what it is. We take every single opportunity to celebrate something.
There you go.
And so not coming from much means, we had to create the beauty, no matter what it was, right? So we always handmade things. We didn't have people come in and have, design a big, fabulous, studio or whatever it is for us. We had to do it ourselves.
Yes.
And my mom was really, she definitely taught me a lot about that. And I transferred that into the 501c3 world in order to help manage and come up with creative ways to help and give back. And it was really fulfilling. It was definitely fulfilling while I was in Baltimore. It definitely was.
That's what's up. What's up. See? Everything comes together. See, you understand how my mind works. It's like a little spider web right now. And I'm like, oh, yep, let me tell yep, there's a connect right there. Yep, yeah. There's so many different things floating around. But no, that's crazy. So going through that experience, I was hoping we were going to get some juicy stories out of that, but I'm glad to hear you had a good experience. If you was one of my other guests that I'm going to have on here, I'm going to start digging into some of this stuff. We're going to get crazy, but I love you, so we're not going to do that. But he's like, thank you. But that's dope to be in that type of spotlight, to be in that type of aura when it comes to the NFL, especially in that time, because that was like the Ray Lewis time, the Ty Heat time, the like Super Bowl we just got off, we feel like we're gonna do it again time. So like having that type of hype around it is a whole different ball game than somebody from the Falcons.
So bad.
Anyway, that's good that you had a good experience.
I
And that's
did.
good that you had a good shepherd through that experience.
Yes.
Are there any people that you keep up with from that experience, or was it just kind of like a time in life and now you're in a different space?
No, I do. I keep in contact with some of the females. Of course, being in the NFL, everyone's from different states. So it's kind of hard to truly connect, right? But there are a few people that live here in Atlanta that I still connect with, that I still stay friendly with. We have events and we connect through that way. And then through the 501c3 foundations, there are plenty of foundations that we still attend and help to show our face and give back, and whatever it is that we can do, whether it be me brainstorming an idea through another foundation or attending an event, we stay connected. Baltimore will always be home in a way, and so yeah, it's fun. It never really leaves you. Now, is it the same? No, but it never really leaves you.
True. So that's a good segue into the next part. You feed me. You feed me right now. I appreciate it. That's why she's the best guest. That's why I told her she needed to get out here. But going into the network, you've done so many things. You've seen so many things. You've been to so many parts of the world. You're doing so many amazing things now we're going to jump into after this, but you probably built a very, very powerful network, a very vast network. And that's the part about this development, this growth, this change that people go through as a professional that we don't talk a lot about. It's a fear for a lot of people, but it's literally innate if you want to grow and if you want to change. You're going to meet new people. You're going to find people that you like. You're going to find people that you don't like. You're going to find people that you connect with. You're going to find people that you don't connect with. But at the end of the day, being able to spread that message, that energy, that word of who you are, who you want to be as a professional is going to go through many ears and through many channels. How has that network been a benefit to you as you continue to grow and be who you are?
I can't sit here and lie to you and tell you that I'm the best at networking, because I'm not. I definitely try to connect with a lot of different people, and whoever I connect with genuinely definitely becomes a part of my network. But in terms of being that person that can go to an event and just can mingle and mix and mingle and bring people into my network that way, it's never been authentic to me. And so most of the people that are in my network are true people that we're friends with, that I have a history with, that I've developed a history with, or that we connected in some sort of really genuine way. In terms of being able to, again, network with random people, I've never been the strongest at, to be honest, which I think is to my benefit, because anyone who wants to work with me genuinely wants to work with me, genuinely sees my gifts and are able to help to, there's a fair exchange there. They want to give and I want to give, and we could have a great experience in that way. But yes, no, everything that I've been through in regards to even my pageantry life, which you didn't talk about, or whatever, but even pageantry.
We got something else we need to jump into? Oh yeah, we got time? T, we got time? Please let me know if we got time.
But I've again been blessed. My dad was in the music industry. There's so many different parts of my life that I can bring and be able to tap in when I need to. Again, because I don't overuse those networks, and because I'm not always connected to people that I don't have genuine relationships with, they become stronger, and so then they tell someone else, and then that's how your network, or that's how my network has been able to been really strong. And so all the people that I work with genuinely want to work with me, genuinely trust me, and I'm able to provide the best work that I can in that way. There you go.
So for all the folks talking about they're not good at networking, you got somebody else here that's not good at networking, admittedly, but she still networks. Exactly. She still takes the opportunity. You know, we were talking about that with the Instagram thing, because you don't never post on Instagram.
I don't. I realize that it's now your digital resume. Like, there's so many times that people are like, oh, what's your Instagram? And I'm like, oh, great, here we go. They're going to think that I'm not doing anything, or I'm not working, or that there's not validity to my career or my history or my resume. Mm-hmm. And so I definitely can see where there is room for growth there. I think I have like a little bit of a insecurity in regards to feeling like Instagram or social media or those platforms, when you're showing what you're doing, that it's like bragging, right? And I recognize that it's not. I recognize that it's truly just sharing and inspiring. And so I got to get out of my head about that.
Indeed.
And share more.
There you go. Share more. Share more. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? It's we want to know what's going on. We want to know what's happening. And you're doing so much dope stuff. It's like, because when you do post, it's like,
I usually repost.
either way,
Yes.
it don't matter. Put it on your story. It doesn't matter. It's something going on. And it's definitely a part of what you do, especially being in the creative space.
Yes.
Because that's when it's running. Me, not so much. LinkedIn is my spot. Y'all want to follow me on LinkedIn. That's why I got all my followers. I'm busting on LinkedIn, making dollars as soon as they monetize my account. LinkedIn put me in.
That's where it is. That's where the business people are.
Yeah.
All of my social media networks, whether it be LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, you name it, they all weak. So it's something I got to work on.
That's all right.
I know I got to work on it.
That's all right. We're gonna figure that out. We're gonna figure that out. We got to get that face back out there.
Yes.
Let them know what's popping, what's going on. Not too intrusive, but we're gonna let them know.
I think that's where it is, right? Drawing that line, that really fine line, and being able to keep your private life private, which I think is really important. And then being able to, yes, inspire people and share, and be able to help people to show them that, these experiences are happening. And of course, I feel like there's so much youth that is on Instagram, and so they need to see these things and see the different faces.
Yep, that's it. That's it. And that's why it's kind of like weird that people only show the good parts.
Oh yeah.
But then it's like, do I really want you in my life like that? Like, do I really want to let you know that I was crying till 10 a.m. last night? Like,
being vulnerable is a thing.
Yeah.
I don't mind being vulnerable, but even in that, right, it's about authenticity. So being comfortable in doing that has to be genuine as well. And sometimes we got to push ourselves out of our comfort zone to show the good, bad, and the ugly, because they all are inspiring, and they all are a testimony, and help people to see the realness and how that, there's different things that you have to go through in order to get to where you want to go, and encouraging them to follow through.
there it is. There it is. And that things are going to get better even though things were bad.
They always get
for
better.
everybody.
It doesn't matter what it is. They always get better. Always.
But people forget that. And so that's why they need you to post and show them that things get better.
Yes.
That's how it goes.
Yes.
Yes. Now, you done divulged something that I had no idea about. I figured I could have guessed,
Oh, what?
but you a pageant queen.
Yeah.
I had no idea about that.
Oh, okay.
All right, so run down the pageant resume. Go ahead and give me the top 5 wins. You know what I'm saying? I need to see some crowns, not some sashes. Like, what's popping?
When I was really young, I think being a first generation American, and I'm mixed, and my dad is Chinese Jamaican, and again, he's in the music industry, and my mom here with nursing, and like, I feel like all those different things made me like their doll, right? They just wanted to they were proud of me, right? And I ate it up. I'm an Aries, and so I was like, okay, whatever it was, I love to dance, I love to sing. And so anything that they could put me in regards to being on the stage and being able to clap and be proud of, they involved me in, which I think was a great thing. Somewhere along the line, I kind of faded back and didn't want to be so much in the spotlight. Yeah. But they exposed me to anything that they could, which was a great thing. It definitely made me who I am, and made me even more cultured, right? Exposed to many different people, not just, the people that I grew up in, not just, people from New York, or not just people from Brooklyn or people in the Caribbean. I was exposed to so many different cultures. And again, that's what New York is, right? It's a melting pot. True. But it definitely made me who I am. So pageantry world, my first little title was Little Miss Brooklyn.
Oh,
that was
I want to see pictures so bad.
That whole thing was a charade. Pictures. I am so embarrassed when people ask me for pictures because, I was 6, I think, 5 or 6. I was too young to be in the pageant, so that they probably want to take my title back. But anyway,
no, we ain't Reggie Bushing out here. No, I done gave it. It's over. Thank you.
I was the youngest one in the pageant, and it was about a week before the pageant, and I went into this hall. We had this long hallway in my house. Mm-hmm. And it had like all these mirrors, and I brought my little rocking chair. My grandmother was a seamstress, and she was sewing my pageant costumes. And I went into the hallway with all the mirrors and with my little rocking chair, and I cut my hair. I cut all my hair off. I'm talking about crazy pixie cut. Like, it was just horrible. I don't know what I thought I was doing. And I knew that it was bad as soon as it was over, though. And my mom took me to the salon to try to fix it.
Not happening.
It was not fixable.
Oh, no.
But I still won.
Right.
I still won.
That's the question. Well,
I still
the
won.
little kids, so I ain't gonna say nothing about the little kids. There was a team pageant. I have some questions that I need to ask, but strict love the kids, and that's where we're gonna leave it.
Yes. No, being in pageants was a great experience. That was my first little title. I did enter some other pageants along the way and talent shows and things of that nature. But the other one that I'm proud of, I am even still a Goodwill ambassador for Belize, which is where my mother is from. And I was Miss Belize, but of New York. So held the title. There's many different Caribbean cultures that they hold pageants in different states, and then they act as Goodwill ambassadors in order to raise money and awareness and different things in the community and give back into their country. And so I was Miss Belize of New York, and I held that title for 2 years. And I think that Belize is probably, of all my Caribbean cultures, the one that I'm most connected to. And so I was really proud of that, and I did a lot during that reign. So yeah.
Say less.
Yes.
There you go. See? Moving and shaking. Since 6 years old, 5, 6 out here. Taking titles, snatching, cutting hair, we out here.
Cutting hair, oh my gosh.
So being involved in the industry that you're in, of course, appearance, fitness, being in shape, being conscious of who you are, not just from even an appearance standpoint, but just from I'm moving and shaking so much, I need to keep my energy level up. Absolutely. I need to make sure that I can maintain and that I'm not out here floundering at the end of the day is super important. And as you know, we got to stay in shape.
That's right.
We always got to stay in shape. Shout out to our sponsor, Metric Mate, because they're always in here keeping folks in shape. How has that been a fixture in your development, and how have you made sure that you could like keep it front of mind, not letting it fade and just like going out here and I ain't say nothing about nobody, but y'all got what I was saying. That's all that matters.
I think that looks, right? Like, because honestly, you know, obviously in this world, what we see first experience and first impressions are through, you know, are what we see, right? And so I've always been conscious of how I look and make sure that I'm always presenting myself the right way. And there are a lot of things that happen in my culture that made me conscious to make sure that I was always maybe not the fittest, but make sure I kept in shape, right? It's one of the things to be like, oh, you know, obesity doesn't run in your family. What, you don't run, and that's why obesity runs in your family, you know? And so I've been conscious of that, and not in even so much of a vanity sense, right? But knowing that has been the downfall of many different people in my family through the generations in regards to obesity. And so it's something that's always at the forefront. And people, you know, they misconstrue that because they see it as a vanity thing. And don't get me wrong, I think if I have a sin, it's going to be vanity. But my biggest sin is vanity.
I love it.
But in regards to, just making sure that I can keep up with my son and that I can be grandma and not grandma, you know, barely being able to run after my grandchildren when they come, and I can wait for that, so I ain't rushing that. But is important. And so I think about it from that perspective, just wanted to make sure that I'm always as fit as I can be in regards to being able to have longevity in life.
Yeah, stay functional.
Yes.
Be able to move.
Yes.
If you don't use it, they lose it, and all those other sayings that they give you.
100%. I want to be able to be present for my grandchildren.
There you go.
That's right.
There you go. That's the perfect reason to do it. Just being able to stay mobile, being able to stay active, being able to stay in tune with your family, your life, your people is really important. So, I mean, that's the number one reason why we want to promote it, is for people to be healthy, for people to be happy, for people to live healthier, happier lives and all that good stuff. So that's why they make a good partner for what we're doing here, because that's what we want to promote. We want to dig in, we want to dive, we want to tap in, we want to find out what's going on with everybody, but at the end of the day, we brought you out here because you're doing your thing. You're exemplifying what it means to have that sauce, as they say.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, there's no sauce. So, Shauna, tell the people where they can find you, where they can keep up with you, how to get in contact with you if they need some creative direction, because we hoping some money's watching this thing. Shout out to us, Money. We need you on this stage too. But let them know where they can get in contact.
Well, I do have a website, ShaunaWilcox.com. And of course, Instagram, Shauna Wilcox4 is my handle there.
That's it?
Well, where else?
LinkedIn.
I told you they weak. All of them are weak. The only one I guess I really am as more active on is Instagram. Even my website, I haven't updated in like 3 years.
Shauna, before this come out, we update all that. We're gonna find a weekend and bring Harper. We're gonna sit down. We're gonna get your life together. Shauna?
Thank you.
No, thank you. It was a good time.
Yes.
I loved it. I feel more connected with my family now. We had good conversation.
Awesome.
We got it on wax, so it's here for perpetuity. So can't nobody say it didn't happen. It's like, no, we sitting down, we talking.
That's right.
That's how it goes. But no, I'm super proud of you.
Thank
you are
you.
absolutely amazing.
I'm proud of you and all that you're doing.
Girl.
Okay, we're talking about me right here, but I can't even. You talking about you don't know me? I didn't know all of this. Okay, so I'm super proud of you and all that you're doing and being able to really just push forward and pursuing your dreams. And you're gonna get there. I know you will. And I'm here to support you always.
I know. I know. Well, that's the way that they can keep up with you, Shauna. Well, I'm gonna let y'all know how you can keep up with us here at Metric Mate. You can go to themetricmate.com. That's our website. And also check us out on Instagram at Metric Mate. But if you want to go to Twitter, get a little twist and do The Metric Mate. Give us a shout, give us a follow, give us a like, and definitely comment when we post something about these podcast episodes because we're gonna be giving out some free prizes for those that come in. So check us out.